Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel, come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, you folks, I'm for a series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff, folks. Hopefully. No one's hoping more than me, folks. I'm the one who's eating this shit. Oh. And I'm going to let you know all you need to know about hopefully delicious crap that I'm going to go over here and try from in my back room. At the time I'm doing this, and then there's a Peter Can Thunderbolt poster back there. I usually have like some natural lighting so things look a little bit nicer, but the sun's not out at the moment. Just when I needed you, dreadful sun enemy of mine. I don't like the sun very much. So I have a B vitamin deficiency. I work nights. Just grab a ladder off to the side, some Marvel figures up there and stuff. And then on top of that, folks, I'm also wearing a cool shirt. When I wear a cool shirt, I like to highlight what the shirt is, folks. I'm wearing, boom, ginger shirt. That was ginger. Well, it's a spice and everything like that. It comes from a root. But this ginger, what with the J and such, they're actually a Ukrainian metal band. They've been around for a while now, like over a decade, I'm pretty sure. I've been a huge fan of them ever since I got into them back in my early to mid-20s. And thankfully, as time has gone by, their influence has increased. They're able to tour, around the world now. Obviously, at the time that I'm doing this, it's a really stressful time for the Ukraine, what with the whole Russian thing and all that stuff going on. But they are still touring right now, and they're, trying to go over there, not only bring, music to people, but, a little bit of added awareness to the plight of the Ukraine. So I'm actually going to be going to see them later on today. If you happen to be interested at all, obviously their music is very available online. This shirt in particular, I got off their website. It is I don't know if I think they still have them available. If you go over there and buy one of these shirts, on the back it says, we want our country back. If you buy one of these shirts from their website, it is a 100% thing, goes to the people of the Ukraine and stuff. So I don't usually pitch stuff like that, but what with it being what it is. So, and with me being a big fan of the band. Anyway, folks, what am I trying for y'all today? I just had to get that in a little bit. I forgot to do it in my last video. So, speaking of my last video, I went over there and I did some winter spiced Sprite. And now, folks, I'm doing, boom, winter edition Red Bull. It's fig apple flavored. I've been waiting for this to come out for a little while now. There is a gentleman, and I've hyped up his channel a few times past, and I'm sure I will do so in the future. His channel's called Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews. He does food reviews like myself, but unlike myself, there's editing, and he doesn't ramble as much. His videos are typically around 5 minutes long. So if you want more direct, just straight to the point reviews, absolutely go check out his channel. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description box. But he went over there. He somehow managed to get a hold of this stuff, I think a few weeks ago. And so I've been keeping an eye out for it ever since, and I finally ran into it a couple days ago. So it's Winter Edition Red Bull. I am okay with Red Bull. I do not like typical Red Bull. It is not very good, in my opinion, taste-wise. But it was one of the first energy drinks that really kind of hit American shores. I know it has its roots based back in Thailand. I've actually had some of the more Thai version of it, which is much more syrupy. And then they brought it over here where they kind of changed the formula. Then they eventually changed the formula again because it wasn't very good. And now we have it as is. And then eventually they went over there and started coming out with flavor variations, which range, but typically are pretty solid. So hopefully this will be delicious as well. I didn't actually watch Nathan's review of this specifically because a lot of times he'll review stuff, we'll review the same items. And if I know that he's reviewed something that I'm going to be reviewing, I don't watch his review, specifically because I don't want it to impact my experience with it. But then oftentimes I'll go over there after I've done my review. I'll go watch his review to see kind of, if there's parallels or what have you. So, like I said, good dude. From what I can see in the YouTube videos and such. Yeah. Smells appley. it'll be interesting because it's fig apple, and I genuinely can't say that I could describe the taste of fig offhand. Like, I don't eat a lot of figs, so let's give it a go. Ooh, that's weird. And it keeps getting weirder. Um, I don't know if I like that or not. It's it's really odd. Like, there is an apple taste to it, which is pleasant enough. Apples are good. It's kind of a sour apple taste a little bit, not like full on sour apple, but there's a tartness to it, which is probably my least favorite apple flavor. For more sweet apples. Um, but then there's like this weird sort of bitterness that kind of teams up with the tartness of the apple, and I'm guessing that's like the fig influence. And it's weird, and I don't know that I like it. But I also don't know that I don't. This might be one of those drinks that kind of, that it kind of grows on me. The first one, and here's the thing, it's always a little bit weird when you go over there and have the first sip of something, because typically speaking, I don't know if it's just because like the stuff's sitting in the can or what have you, but like whether it's alcohol or even carbonated drinks, that tends to be like the strongest flavor of the entire drink. And I'm guessing it's just because like stuff sits and it eventually makes its way up and what have you. Um, so because the first one was not that great, but the second one was actually pretty reasonable. Okay, yeah, I think I can go. I think I can go with this. I think for whatever reason with that first sip, either I'm just getting more acclimated to it, or like I said, maybe it's just that first sip aspect of a lot of drinks. Because the first one, like the bitter aspect of it was like much more overpowering, and it created like kind of a funky aftertaste that I wasn't a big fan of. Now it seems like as I'm drinking it, the flavors are sort of blended together better, and it somewhat offsets the tart aspect. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna change my mind on that one. I actually like this. Uh, it like I said, that first taste was just so funky. It was just really weird and kind of off-putting. But subsequent drinks have actually worked a lot better. I think that, like I said, I think the flavors are just mixed better together past that initial impact, because it's less bitter and less sort of tart tasting. I can actually get behind this. It's kind of weird. It has something of a crisp aspect to it, which is nice to drink. I will say this: I don't think this one is going to be for everyone. I don't think any Red Bull is for everyone, because you probably shouldn't be drinking energy drinks that often anyway. But there are certain flavors that I think typically work better. I think they still have the blueberry one, if I'm not mistaken, because that was like one of the first ones that came out as a flavor variation. That one, typically people I've spoken to who try the different Red Bulls like that one. I think I did like the summer apricot one. By the way, it also begs mentioning this is the winter edition. It's not fucking winter. It's not. It's not. We just entered into November. Still firmly fall. I don't think we got a fall edition this year. Do we get fall editions, or do they just do summer and winter? I don't know. I'm not that up to date with the Red Bull newsletter, but I can go with this. I like it. Still got a little tartness of apple. It's got a little depth, little complexity, and it doesn't taste like fucking Red Bull, which for me is a huge win. It also doesn't taste like generic energy drink, which is another thing I'm a big fan of. So yeah, I think that this one, I will give it to it. I think that this is another nice addition to their flavor family, even if it was a little bit off-putting with the first drink. I like it. I like it. I'm definitely going to finish it. I was going to finish it anyway, but definitely going to finish it with a certain level of enjoyment. Would I recommend it? Sure, why the hell not? It's a limited edition thing. And I think that while I don't think it's going to be for everybody, it's at least worth trying. Plus, if nothing else, it's an energy drink. So, like I said, you don't drink a lot of it anyway. So, anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me on that one. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of the day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, 2 pounds for here. Folks, if you can go over there and have yourselves a truly winter edition rest of your life. Because, blah, 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 Game of Thrones reference, blah, 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 didn't watch the final season, blah, 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 blah. I heard it kind of went downhill at a certain point. What with the winter is coming and all. Final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in your world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's the you, folks. You try not to be an asshole. Especially the world we live in today. What with the stress and the conflicts and things and all the stuff going on, and at the time, and I say those things, and I'm literally wearing, a band shirt from a band that's from a country that's under siege at the moment. Obviously, there are people out there who are struggling way worse than anything I've ever had to experience in my life. So that's why it's so important that we try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, because so many people are dealing with so much stuff, you don't want to compound that. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you're going to try yourself some winter edition Red Bull. You can get it during the winter season. Who the hell knows when it'll come out next year? I guess probably during spring or some shit. And maybe you'll be sipping it. Maybe you'll be watching this review back. I don't know why you would watch one of my reviews twice, but who knows. Maybe you go over there and you're like, you know what? I'm going to look into this ginger band that he was talking about. Go over there, maybe you like their stuff, And I'm not going to say, spend your money or do anything like that. That's entirely... I'm certainly not sponsored. That's for goddamn sure. But, maybe it'll go over there, give you pause... again, just dealing with everything that's going on with the Ukraine and in a lot of countries in the world, sadly. There's obviously other conflicts out there just besides Ukraine. So, and I think I'm going to end on that one. Usually I like to try to provide a more unrealistic one and then something that's a little bit more realistic. But I think that's a good one to end on. So, a little bit of a heavy note to end on, but Anyway, folks, bye.